So hi all, Wednesday today. I've decided to do a quick video tonight on my favorite crystals. So what I would use in my Reiki practice, or when I'm doing my healing therapies here, I have a certain amount of crystals that I always, my go-to crystals. So what I did was I wrote out a few of the crystals that I use going by the chakra system, which you can sort of see from the chakra colors here behind me on the wall, and I will go through a few crystals that coordinate with each of those chakras, the ones that I would use. And normally if I'm using crystals, I would, over my 15 years of doing my healing therapies, I have been given presents, I have bought crystals, I have found crystals, I have beautiful crystals from sacred places that I've been, where I visited, and what I do is I put them in a big bowl. And then as I'm working on each person, I intuitively use the crystals for each of my clients. So normally when I have one of my clients up on the bed, I normally use rose quartz and clear quartz. They're the two main stones that I use in the client's hands when they're on the bed. And then I choose the rest of my crystals as I go through the session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 7 chakras, which is the energy centers for people who out there who don't know what chakras are. The energy wheels, energy centers. We have 7 of them. They're not something that can be seen in the body. They are chakra is the Sanskrit word for wheel. It's an energy center that moves in your body. We have 7 of them. We have one at the top of the head, which is the crown chakra, one over the forehead, third eye, your throat chakra is over your throat, in your heart chakra, across your heart, underneath your chest here you have your solar plexus, over your navel is your sacral chakra, and then your root chakra is over your hips or in your groin area. That's your first chakra, or your base chakra, and it works its way up. I always sort of go from there down, but it actually really comes from there up, because the energy flows upwards as well as down. So the first chakra would be the base chakra, the root chakra, which is on your hip bones, and we work our way up. So these chakras have colors, and each of the chakras has a color, coordinating color. You can see behind me here. We learn how to do it in the similar way as the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So Richard of York gave battle in vain. So it teaches the clients and also the students how to remember the colors. So Richard of York gave battle in vain: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And what we do is, on a general sense, when we're working on somebody that's on the bed, or when you're walking into a shop, if you're walking into a crystal shop or an angel shop, I always say to my clients and my students to go with your heart. I always choose things when I walk into a shop. I always choose with my left hand. My right hand is my giving hand, my left hand is my receiving hand. So I always close my eyes and put my hand over the crystals, and I choose with my left hand, which is really coming from the heart. I say, okay, I really want this this crystal to help me and for my highest good. And the crystal that I stop on with my eyes closed is the one that I'm meant to have. Because remember, your guides are always guiding that. Your guides will make sure that the crystal that you're supposed to have will be given to you. And if you are going to buy crystals, I would always say, if it's walking into a shop, into an angel shop, to buy it. If it's walking, like we used to have an angel and crystal shop in the pavilions here in Swords, and it was readily available that you can get every single crystal that you wanted to. But what I would say to you is, never choose a crystal from those places without washing them first. So what I say to you is, choose a crystal, get the person who's selling you the crystal to put it into a bag and rinse it before you use it. And by rinsing the crystal under cold water, you take negative energy off it. Because if crystals are placed in a shop and they hold energy, can you imagine the amount of people who have touched that crystal? Never mind the person who got the crystal from the ground, the person then who polished the crystal, then the person who packaged the crystal, then the person who delivered the crystal into the shop, and all of the people then who've gone in and put their hands on it. Every single crystal holds energy. So I want you to always be very mindful and always be very conscious of whatever crystal that you receive, whether it's buying it yourself or whether it is going into a shop to or being given it by a person, somebody gives it to you for a present, whether it be an actual physical crystal, tumble stones, bracelets like chip bracelets like these, necklaces, earrings, any of the crystals that has been given to you. Always make sure that you bless it first, or that you can rinse it under a tap. So say, for instance, if you got new earrings, for instance, and the earrings are not really good to be rinsing them under water, you could put your hand over and ask your guides to bless this piece of jewelry for your highest good, and clear all negative energy that's on it and remove it for me now. And that's how I do it. If I can't, especially if it is a piece of jewelry that you can't really be thrown underneath underneath a tap. Because say, for instance, if you're buying crystals, normally they come with this little crappy non-silver chain, and after a while, if you rinse this under a tap, it will go discolored, right? So I'll talk you through that. That's a beautiful pendulum, all the colors in it. I'll talk you through that in a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through each chakra and what crystals would associate. So it sort of means that I don't really miss out. There's thousands of crystals. I just want to show you something. This is the biggest book ever on crystals, the Encyclopedia of Crystals, and in it there's massive amounts of crystals, all different colors, all the properties, all of the mineral contents in them. You can buy one of those books if you're really into crystals. I was mad into crystals when I started off first because I just loved them. I just loved the look of them. And now I sort of only use a certain amount of them because I really intuitively use them as I work with my clients. So I'm going to run through a few of them, going with the chakras. I'm going to start actually with the crown chakra, even though that's the 7th energy center, it's the one at the top of the head, and I'm going to go through the crystals that I would choose for that. I'm going to look down at my notes because I just don't want to miss out on anything. So clear quartz, one of my favorite stones. So clear quartz comes in all colors. This is clear quartz. It's like a little heart tumblestone polished one. I have big huge ones like this, which is quartz points, very strong. This one's smaller version of it, quartz points. What I do with these is these are used in Reiki when I'm doing attunements, because it's really powerful energy that comes off these. What's happening is that the energy from the crystal is coming down and directing itself down into this point here at the top, and this is more of a clear quartz. This is what natural quartz would look like if you were to get it from the ground. We have a lot of it here. Actually, I got a beautiful piece actually brought home from one of the islands off Dingle in Kerry. In Ishviklan, I got a beautiful piece of crystals, very similar to this actually, but this one is a piece which is very, very strong energy off this. And it's funny, when I chose it, I got it in Bosnia, in Visoko, inside the pyramid in Bosnia. And when I chose it from outside, and I just chose it because it was ugly. It didn't really look very pretty compared to these ones, it has amazing energy in it, and the energy is actually being dispersed through the bottom of it, through the ugly part, but I can see it coming out in the point at the top here, and it's really strong energy. And when you place a client inside points like this, it really does amplify energy. It's really, really good. So what I do is, if I'm having somebody having an attunement, I would put my client in a crystal quartz pyramid. So basically I put a quartz point on the ground on the end of the room, and then on the other corners I would put a quartz point pyramid facing in. So basically they are actually in a pyramid on the ground. It's made by the energy of the points of the crystals. And with points, what they do is like ping-ponging of energy. The energy ping-pongs off the end of this one, goes over to the other one in the corner over there, and then goes over to the other corner, and they ping-pong off each other, and they set a grid out on the floor. So it's really powerful energy when you then use this pyramid energy on the floor. If you put your client on a bed, in a healing bed, or if you're attuning someone, it really, really is very good for amplifying energy. And what clear quartz does is it's really good for psychic abilities, for your concentration, and it really is the most versatile crystal of all. It's one of my go-to crystals. That's why I say I put them in the client's hands when they're on the bed. White in the right, so I put the white in the right hand, and the left one always has the rose quartz crystal, which I'll go to in a minute. And the white one that's in the right hand is a really, really powerful crystal for conducting energy in the body. So as the negative energy is flowing down through your body and through your meridian lines, it conducts into those crystals. So it's really good for removing negative energy off the bodies. Also very good for the immune system, very good for putting the body back into balance. Another one that I would use for the where am I on this? Actually on the, you can use this for the crown chakra as well as the third eye. So you can use it for both. For the crown chakra, another one would be amethyst. That is an amazing crystal as well. Oh my God, I love this crystal. Here's a beautiful amethyst geode. You can see that there, the sparkles off it. And the geodes, people have seen them before where they actually can step into them. They're huge. I know there's one over in Dunboyne Castle, in the Dunboyne Hotel, where it's in this spa down below. It's a big, huge one, like 6 foot, and you can step into it and you put your back against it, and the energy, as you can see, the way the little geodes are coming off that, little points, and each of those points in amethyst is actually directing energy out of it. So such a powerful crystal. And I also use this type of crystal, not this one, but another one, which is here. It's a tea light crystal. You can see it like this, and the tea light goes inside here. But I use this one for clearing my crystals. So if I want to clear crystals, I place them on it. In other words, it takes negative energy from the other crystals, because this is a very powerful crystal, amethyst. But amethyst being purple, and if we're going by the chakras again, the amethyst can work because it's indigo violet. So between the two of them, it works between the two of them. I would use it if I was having trouble sleeping. It's really good for mental clarity. If you had, stuff going on in your brain that you wanted to just like try and, focus on. It is very good for spiritual awareness, intuition, psychic abilities, cleansing, which we said, and also one of the things that I use it for, especially if I can't go to sleep. So I place a smaller crystal, which you can see like these ones. That's the A grade amethyst. It's beautiful. It's nearly see-through. And that's a B grade amethyst, which is like more of a dull sort of an amethyst. Those ones you can place underneath your pillow as you go to bed at night time. You can place them, actually, which I tell a lot of my clients who have insomnia, in the bed. So you can place one on each corner of your mattress, underneath your mattress, because then you put yourself inside a grid, whether it's a square grid, one on each corner, or you place one right center at the top of your mattress and one on either corner at the bottom. And then you put yourself in a triangular grid, and that's a pyramid grid. Again, the grids are really, really important, especially if you want to amplify the frequency and the energy of the crystals, right? So that's amethyst. Also, one of the other things that, which I thought was very funny when I was reading in the book earlier on today, it said for sobering effects. So if anyone is really trying to get over addictions, whether it's chocolate like me, or alcohol, or any form of addictions, amethyst is really good. Get a big piece of amethyst jewelry and hang it around your neck like beads of amethyst, or you can have amethyst earrings, something that's on your body all the time, especially every day while you're going through your trying to get over addictions. So amethyst, amazing stone. I love it. Really, really good for when you're doing meditations as well. I hold a piece of it in my hand, especially when I'm looking for really strong information from spirit. I hold the amethyst crystal. So also actually very good for psychic attacks, and it transmutes any negative energy into the love energy. So it's really good for as an all-rounder crystal. My 3 crystals that I go to would be clear quartz, rose quartz, and amethyst. The 3 crystals I always use. I always put them in the client's hands, and I put a piece underneath the pillow of the healing bed here. Also, azurite is really good for the third eye. So moving down, third eye being here, the third eye, obviously your spiritual center here in the front. It's called the stone of heaven, azurite. I actually don't have a piece of it, but it's a purpley color stone, beautiful stone, and it brings very good psychic awareness, and also helps with meditation. So you can use azurite, and it gives you very good spiritual abilities, and especially at the moment when we're going through this new shift in energy where we are becoming more aware. We're using our third eye more, we're using our pineal gland more, our sending and receiving station, which is the pineal gland smack center of the brain. We're using them really more now, and we're able to see more, hear more, sense more. So these crystals are really very good for you if you can especially carry them on you. So a small piece of a crystal always helps when it's in your auric field. So it's on your body somewhere, whether it's in your pocket, whether it's in a handbag, in your coat, whatever it is. If it's on you, you can carry it in jewelry, you can put it in rings on your fingers, whatever way it is. Once it's on your auric field, always really good. So that's the third eye. I really use, for both of them, the third eye, I use the amethyst and I use the clear quartz for the third eye. Azurite is really good, but sometimes I try and get it from my wholesale and it's hard to get, so I don't have it today, but Azurite is really good too. But amethyst and clear quartz is my main go-to areas for, my main go-to crystal for this area. So moving down to the throat, I always say the throat being blue, so just choose the crystal that is blue. My favourite crystal for the throat, and you might see me wearing it sometimes, is, sorry, I crossed over here, that is lapis lazuli. And there is a piece of it as well. Beautiful crystal for the throat. I'll tell you what it is. It's very good for speaking your truths and for total awareness, and also to do with for friendships. And it's funny because I actually got that from a friend of mine, and she didn't even realize why she bought it, but really good for speaking your truths. Any blue crystals are very good for opening and helping the heart, the throat chakra. So funny when my friends in England hear me saying throat, they say it's 33 and a third. It's the way I talk. They don't get what throat means. My throat chakra. So the throat chakra also is this beautiful one. This is turquoise, and you see, especially in the summertime, a lot of jewelry is made from turquoise. Such a beautiful stone. I just love the energy of these. Turquoise is stone of communication, again for the throat chakra. A lot of the Native American Indians would have used this. I mean, that's why I love this crystal, because I in a past life was a Native American. Really good, even though it's called turquoise because it's the Turkish stone, because it came from Turkey, and it also is it was brought from Turkey through Europe from Asia, so that's actually why it's called turquoise, which makes sense. And it's very good for helping you to speak honestly. So I always find that if I'm going to do any form of talks, if I'm going to be doing a Reiki course where I know I'm going to be using my voice for the whole weekend, I mean, I know I use my voice a lot, but when I'm using my voice for a whole weekend where I'm talking like for 8 hours a day, I would use a blue crystal somewhere on me, or sometimes smaller stones, like, you know, small little tumble stones. The women can put them in their bras. I mean, I always do that. I put crystals in my bra. Men can carry them in their pockets, whatever way you want. Once they're on your physical body, it always works for you. So turquoise, very good for speaking your truth and being honest when you're talking. It's also the lapis lazuli, which is this one. Going back to the blue one, is very good for regressed anger. So anything to do with anger, if you want to talk up for yourself and you're angry about something, always wear or put a piece of this in your pockets. I actually find lapis lazuli is really good for confidence in speaking. If you want to go into a meeting where you know you have to talk and you need to do a presentation, or go into your boss and you're looking for a better job or a better position, or if you're going into a job interview, I find that this stone is really, really good, lapis lazuli, right? Because it brings total awareness. Actually, it's more to do with the total awareness. It brings total awareness into the situation that you're going into, so it helps you to speak about it, and it comes up in the right way, and you're able to speak your truth the way you what resonates with you on the day when you're wearing it. So really good, those stones. So lapis lazuli, turquoise, and also, which is this other one, which is angelite, which is beautiful stone as well. This is really good, especially if you want to talk and communicate with your angels. Really lovely stone. This is also angelite, but that's in a bead form. It's more of a grey colour, but they all work for your throat chakra. Okay, so moving on. Oh, aquamarine is also another one. That's also very good. And aquamarine, we find you have those beautiful they're nearly semi-precious stones. You get them in rings, a lot in rings. It's like a really light blue precious stone, and you find that in a lot of jewelry. So aquamarine is very good. Any of the blue stones is very, very good for the throat chakra. Very good for communication. Also, this is another one of my favorites. Rare blue obsidian was given to me by my beautiful friend Gillian as a birthday present. long time ago, but it's such a powerful stone. And that also comes in little small tumble stones. I have lots of those because it's really powerful. But it's called blue obsidian. It's like rare blue obsidian, and again, very good for your throat chakra. But it's really good in the obsidian. You hear a lot of us would know obsidian from our kids talking about it, because it's in Fortnite or one of those shooting games that the kids play. All my boys are all on video games, and obsidian and lapis lazuli is actually all in it's one of them, Fortnite or COD or one of those, and Call of Duty COD, by the way. As you know, I have a house full of boys. Okay, so moving on. So blue again is for the throat chakra. Moving on down, we're going to move down into the heart. The heart again, even though this is rare blue obsidian, it's sort of a greeny color too. So I always love using this one for the heart chakra, because the green, being the heart chakra, is in the smack center here. It's a bluey green, so I use this too. Green aventurine is another one, which is here. As a beautiful stone too. I'll tell you what green aventurine does. It's a calming, soothing stone. It clears emotional blockages, and it's a stone of opportunity and shifts your focus, right? So it's a really calming stone. I love it. I do actually work with this too. I actually work with a few green stones on the heart, because I find at the moment, especially when people are coming for Reiki, it's always heart stuff. It always seems to be coming because it's emotional heart stuff. So I use a lot of green stones on the heart chakra. Green aventurine, and it's also, you can use rose quartz, because even though the heart chakra is in the front here, the green heart chakra, there's a thymus chakra, which is over here, which is because the heart is such a powerful organ that we came in here with. It also holds so much emotion. We've got like one smaller chakra, which is called the pink heart chakra, the thymus chakra, and I would use rose quartz. So that's a big chunk of rose quartz, as you can see. It comes in little smaller ones, like little heart ones. You can get them in points as well, like that's similar like that one, but that one, it would be pink in color, like this in a point. Really good. And what I do is, if I feel like there's lots of energy on the heart when I'm working on it, I place the crystal with the point facing up. So I just place the crystal on top of the heart like this, the point faces up, and the negative energy flows out, amplifies out through the point in the top of the crystal, when it's pink, by the way, but clear quartz works too. So rose quartz, where am I here on my rose quartz? Rose quartz awakens unconditional love, which we know it's a really good stone for love. The green part of it, which is the aventurine, for emotional wounds and energies of love in general. Malachite, which is, oh my god, one of my favorite stones at the moment. Malachite, which is here on chip bracelets. I get lots of these. I have lots and lots and lots of bracelets, right? These are chip bracelets, and they're quite flimsy, so you put them on your hand, and you don't have to pull too hard before they break, and little chips all fly all over the room, right? You can buy these in any shop. They're €2.50, €3 maximum, right? They're small little chips of the crystals, as you can see, little tiny chips, like those years ago we used to have those little beads that used to bite, like sweet beads, very little small little crystals, and they're quite flimsy, the little elastic underneath, so be very mindful of when you're taking them off, that you don't snap them. And sometimes when they come at the start, they're quite tight, so it takes a while for them to sort of loosen up a little bit. And if they do break and tiny little crystals go all over the place, don't throw them out. What I always teach all my clients is, if you find that they break, take them, collect them, as much as you can, collect them up, place them into a little bowl, and eventually over time, I think over a space of a year, I had a bowl full of little tiny chip bracelets that were all broken up. And what I do is, when I'm working with my smaller clients, they never really want to get up onto the bed. So my smaller clients, I'm saying not little small babies, obviously you wouldn't be giving them little small ones like that for choking hazards, but I would use them for my smaller clients, as in like my little teeny boppers, or 5 to 10-year-olds, because they'll sit on the ground and they'll draw pictures with those little chips. I say to them, draw me a picture of them, just throw out all the small little crystals, the little chips, and say, draw me a flower, make me a flower of them. And they sit on the ground with the crystals, and it doesn't make a difference whether the crystal is that big, or a teeny little crystal like this, or like this, these little tiny ones, the same energy is in the crystal, whether it's big or small. Bigger is not better. So don't worry about that thinking, oh, it's a tiny crystal, it's no good. Actually, sometimes the tiny little crystals could have came from one of the most amazing places on this earth, and has amazing energy because it was on the middle of the crystalline grid, and you're throwing that out because you think, oh, this is a better one because it came from somewhere, right? Where actually, if the crystal comes to you, I always say, if the crystal comes to you, always be very mindful that it was brought to you. Somebody's brought it to you and there's a reason for it. So there's obviously energy in it and it helps. And one of the other things I'd say also is make sure that you always rinse your crystals especially after using them on somebody. So if you're using them, most times, if you're doing a course in crystals, they'll tell you to do the rinsing of the crystals after you use them on each person. But if you're using it, giving it a loan to someone, you say to them, oh, when you take it back, always make sure you rinse the crystal. And I always talk about that when it comes to the full moon out there. You can place all of the crystals that you own into a beautiful bowl and put them outside in the moonlight and allow the moonlight to come down and radiate its beautiful energy, whether it's a full moon, whether it's super moon, eclipse moon, whatever moon it is, especially if it's a full moon, because the energy of the full moon is amazing and it re-energizes your crystals and amplifies the energy in your crystals. So always get them out. And also the sun energy, the raw energy that's coming from the sun, energizes your crystals. So if you feel that your crystals are a bit dense with energy and they're a bit heavy, one of the things is that they'll fall on the ground and smash. That's okay, because sometimes your guides are like, she hasn't cleaned it, and it'll fall on the ground and it'll break and it'll smash. And some of my quartz, my points, like the obsidian points, I don't know how many obsidian points I've had, and they break, smash onto the ground, because obsidian especially is a really good crystal for taking negative energy, and if there's too much energy in it, it'll fall off the bed and it'll smash, because your guides are telling you that's done with until it's cleaned. So, and I've half crystals, lots of these in halves. They still work. I use them anyway, even though they're not actual points anymore. So moving on, that was the heart crystals. So green aventurine, rose quartz, malachite, which is, this one. I know I was talking about the chips and I forgot to talk about it in general. Malachite, oh my God, I love this energy of this. I've got a beautiful, really, it's a really small piece, and it was given to me by my brother and his girlfriend. When they came back from somewhere, they brought it back for me, and it's actually in an actual proper gold casing. You can put it on a chain. Oh my God, the energy of it is unreal. And malachite is a stone of transformation, hence why I'm wearing it like mad, and I'm really connected to it at the moment. Hence why I got this beautiful piece when I was in Bosnia. It was such an amazing experience over there when I went there. And this guy who was right across from the hotel we were staying in, he goes around collecting crystals, and he chooses the crystals from his heart, and the energy of this crystal is unreal. And it's a very strong crystal when you're putting this crystal on somebody. So sometimes it can be a bit too much on them, but I always go again with my intuition. I always know, my guides give me the guidance of where to put it. So malachite is a stone of transformation, stress from the heart. Anytime you have any stresses going on in the heart, it is a stone of forgiveness, and it's also it's used in the first steps of letting go of energy, especially if it's emotional energy. I've so many clients that come here, emotional energy on the heart, and when I place this down on them, they just burst out crying. And it just goes to show you how powerful crystals are. Also emeralds, I don't have one of them unless somebody wants to buy me one. Emeralds are very good because they're green and they're precious stone, very good for love and relationships, hence why people get them for engagement rings. And also using them, if you place a small little piece of an emerald on you, in a piece of jewelry or on a ring on your finger, it's really good for being on your body, again in your auric field, helps you to live your life really and fully through the heart center, because it's such a powerful heart stone. One of the past life regression experiences I had with one of my clients, she went back to being high priestess in Atlantis. And in Atlantis, she used to help people, heal people on these beds made from emerald. It was emeralds on the bed, and it was amethyst up the wall behind. like the wall of amethyst and an emerald bed of crystal. And that's how they healed people in Atlantis. They would have put people on these beds. You don't even have to do anything. You just place them on the bed, and the energy from the crystals amplifies energy, rebalances the chakras, restores your body to the best and fullness that it can be. Okay, so moving on. Oh, rhodonite. I know somebody was actually asking me about that. That's also another stone. That's a pinky colour. I don't actually have it here. I do have a piece somewhere, but I actually didn't bring it out with me. Rhodonite, self-love and unconditional love, heals past wounds, traumas, and cleanses the heart, healing relationships, challenges, releasing fears, and helping with self-esteem. So rhodonite is like a pink crystal, more of a pink with purple bits in it. Beautiful crystal too. And I actually find that rhodonite, is a really good crystal for anyone who has Asperger's, any of those children that are really sensitive to energy. I find my son is dyslexic, and I give him a big piece of that, and he finds it really good. So that's a really good crystal for the heart too. So it balances the heart, I suppose, in a way. It takes away anxieties and fears too, especially if their anxieties are awakened with having dyslexia or having issues where they're not supposedly normal in school. Okay, so moving on, solar plexus, which is yellow, the seat of your power. Underneath here, your solar plexus is right here. Solar plexus is all to do with power issues. Solar plexus is the crystal for that would be citrine. I'm going to show you this. I have a beautiful piece in the house, but I've got another beautiful one here. Look, this is citrine. You can see the sparkles off it. Such a beautiful stone, a stone of abundance. Now this is a tea light. I'm getting these in, getting more of these in. And what I do with it, I have a beautiful one. It's actually a piece, a chunk, and it's actually in the shape of a heart. So beautiful, just mesmerizing looking at it. It's the shape of a heart in my house. And citrine is the crystal also of abundance. So in Feng Shui, if you have your house, you go in your front door of your house and you go to the furthest left-hand corner of your house. So whether that be in your sitting room right at the back of your house, so you can imagine your square, you come in your front door. If it's the furthest left-hand corner, it's over here. You may have an extension that goes out from that square. It still must go in the furthest left-hand corner. And when you're placing that crystal there, it can be small, like this, tiny little crystal like this. This is citrine in a tumblestone. Or it can be big like this. You place it in that corner, and when you're placing it in that corner, you're asking for abundance of. Your intention is, I ask to bring in abundance of health, of love, of peace, of kindness, of compassion, all the good ones. I always say abundance of money should be kept at the very end. You never really ask for abundance of money. You're asking, your intention is to ask for abundance. So whatever the universe brings in for you, you will get it, but even more if you place that crystal in the furthest left-hand corner of your house. And that really does work. I mean, I placed it in the corner of my living room, and when things weren't going great for us, and I mean, it's gleaming in the corner in there. And again, it's a crystal that, it's very powerful crystal. So I would say to you to make sure that you always rinse it off. These ones can be rinsed. You can quickly rinse them underneath the tap, rinsing them. These, the smaller ones, obviously you can too. And again, citrine, because it's a yellowy color stone, it guides in with the yellow of the chakras, and the chakra is solar plexus. Citrine itself is for abundance, as we said, and it's also a success stone for personal empowerment and for lots of confidence. So if you want to place this in your bra, girls, when you're going in on our first date, or when you're going in to do an interview, help you with confidence, really good stone for helping you to step into the power in here, because that stone is such a powerful stone. Stepping into the power of your solar plexus and really stepping into the power of who you are supposed to be, and having that confidence to step into that power. And with that crystal in your pocket, armed with that, you will have the abundance of whatever job it is that you need. Whatever is for your highest good will come in with that crystal. Always when you're placing it in, you place it into your space, whether it's in your bra, whether it's in your pockets, whatever it is, and you ask for the intention of abundance. I'm placing this stone in my pocket for abundance today. please, can I have some abundance? Whatever that is, whether it's abundance of peace, abundance of love, of joy, of whatever. I mean, you can ask for money, but as I said, I would always leave that till the end, because never really good for ask for wealth. So another crystal for the solar plexus would be a yellow tourmaline. There's black tourmaline as well. Yellow tourmaline is the yellow color. Again, that detoxifies the body, cleanses, balances, activates the chakra. Amber, which you would know, I don't have any of it, but it's very similar in color to this. Very similar to this. And what most people recognize amber for is when they place amber bracelets and necklaces around little small babies that are teething. It's really good for teething babies. Or some of the amber teething rings. You can buy an amber teething ring, and that will be really good, because the actual amber itself, the actual precious crystal, is really good around the neck, and when you place that around the neck, it naturally releases an acid called succinic acid, and it helps with healing of the teeth. So it is really, normally we see amber in baby teething rings and also necklaces, so that's where you see the amber and any yellow crystal. Yellow labradorite is also another one. It's called a sunstone. The amber, yellow tourmaline, moonstone is also another one. Solar for the solar plexus. Also the citrine is what my main one would be for the solar plexus. There it is again. Oh my god, I just love it. And that's a tea light, so you can put a tea light in that and place it in the corner of your left-hand corner, furthest left-hand corner of your house. Love it. And moving on then to the sacral chakra, which is over the navel. We'll go to this in the fertilities part. I'm looking at the time, I got 36 minutes, I'm still talking. We'll go to this in the fertility part, because that's really good. I always talk about the sacral chakra when we're talking about fertility. Tiger's eye. So again, looking at the colours, it's like an orangey colour. Sacral chakra is over the navel, the chakra. Tiger's eye, the stone of the mind. It helps with giving you courage. Now, where's my tiger's eye? I have another piece of it here somewhere. Oh, there. Beautiful. So tiger's eye, as you can see, looks like the coat of the tiger and the fur. You can see it. There it is again. And that's a heart one. This is a tumblestone, still a small version of it. I remember a long time ago when I had my room set up for us, and all the kids off the road used to come and say, Hazel, can I come in and see your magic room? And they'd come in, and I used to say to children, yeah, go on over there and I can put your hand into the bowl there and choose one of those. You can have one of those crystals, and they'll choose a crystal. And again, children are so intuitive. They're so sensitive to energies. They know what they want. They're intuitively guided to pick the crystal more than we are, because we're conditioned to believe that they don't work. But the children just know. They go straight for the crystal that is for them. And I remember one kid came and he chose the tiger's eye. And I remember saying to the mom afterwards, she goes, oh, thank you so much for the crystal. And I said, is he having any issues in school? Is he being bullied? Because normally tiger's eye is for courage, and for be able to have self-esteem and stand up for yourself and not having any fear. And she goes, yeah, how do you know? And I said, oh no, because he just chose the crystal that is for courage. Normally children who are being bullied or going into weird situations where they feel fearful, they'll always choose tiger's eye. And tiger's eye again for the sacral chakra. And that's really sometimes where you see a lot of kids say, oh, my pain in my tummy, when they get upset about something or they're anxious about something. They might have to go out into the yard and see that friend who's bullying them, and they're anxious and they go, I have a pain in my tummy, because it's in the solar plexus, which is down here over the navel. The energy is being pulled into the sacral chakra, and the negative energy that's there will be released if you give them the tiger's eye in their pocket. Place it in their pockets going to school. Really good for helping the children. Also very good for food cravings. If you're having any food cravings like me with the chocolate, you can use that in your pocket. Rub it before you go to the press, or to the fridge or to the freezer. Then also really good, tiger's eye, really good for Kundalini energy. Really, really good for that. So if you want to do a Kundalini energy meditation, placing a good chunk or piece on your body or in your field around you while you're sitting in meditation, is really good for helping that energy. It centers the creative energies, emotionally balances the chakra. It's really good for stability, for mood swings, for releasing fears, as I said, and for taking risks. So if you feel you want to go into a business meeting where you feel, oh, this is a bit risky, but I'm going to go in, I'm going to take the risk, feel the fear and do it. Take a tiger's eye in with you. Carnelian, which is, where is it? Up here. So carnelian is this one. Looks again like amber, so carnelian is that one. Orangey colour, really lovely stone. Creativity, motivation, endurance, and leadership. So if you are a boss, my husband has a piece of this in his office on his table. Not that he needs it now, by the way, but he has a piece of it there. Gets things moving. It is for courage, and it is a stone that boosts passion. But if you look at it, it says it's called a sun. It looks like a sunset. As the sun is setting, it looks like that. So it's called a sunset. So you can see it looks like as the sun is going down, it has that lot of orangey, goldy glow. Sunset looks like sunset. Also very good. One of my favourite stones, carnelian, is for fertility, because remember, fertility is the sacral chakra. It's also that area when you're trying to get pregnant. Fertility, will go to a full section on crystals for that, because I want to really hone in on the fertility, because I have so many of my clients that use the crystals for fertility. Gold stone, which is this one, very good again. See the sparkles off. It's really lovely for jewelry, because it has sparkles. Lots of kids love the sparkles, and it's really good for jewelry. So you can buy lovely gold stone jewelry, and that stone is very good again for the sacral chakra, and very good for ambition. So if you're ambitious, it's a really good stone for that. Orange calcite, a stone of creativity. It's a warm, nurturing stone. It inspires creativity, pushes you to reach your full potential, and it's very good for amplification. A lot of my, it's in a packet, sorry, but this is selenite, and you get orange calcite like these, heart-shaped like these two, as tea lights. So I can get them for if anybody's interested in those. Really good for just burning them, using little tea lights in your bedroom or in your living room or your healing space. Very good again for releasing negativity, and it's also it's a really good stone if you have it in a tumble stone, carrying it on you, especially if you're in situations where you need to see through illusions and see the truth in things. So if you are going into a situation where you go, don't know about that, a bit bitching going on, and you go in, you use your little stone, you'd be very intuitive to picking up if it is or not. It's a really good stone for that. So that is orange calcite. So again, for sacral chakra, tiger's eye, carnelian, gold stone, orange calcite, 4 stones that I would use. There is hundreds and hundreds of crystals, as I said, so many crystals, but they're the ones that I normally have here. Then moving down to the final chakra, which is the root chakra, which again, I call it the root chakra, but it's actually the first chakra, because it's the first one as the Kundalini energy rises. The first chakra is the root chakra, 1, 2, and it goes all the way up to 7, which is the top of the head. So the root chakra, the first energy center, red jasper, the very little red crystals. Red jasper, which is here. Beautiful red colour. It's reddy orange more. And there's also a brighter red version of this, red jasper. And it's really good for grounding. Any of the root chakra crystals are really good for grounding. Remember, your root chakra is where you ground energy. I always do that in my meditations. You're bringing in the golden light, bringing it down through your root chakra, which is the first chakra. And that energy gets brought down both of your legs and out the tips of your toes and through your soles of your feet down to the ground. Really good grounding energy. So, the root chakra is always to do with grounding. So any stones that you use on the root chakra is to do with grounding. Root chakra, red jasper for emotional balance. We have smoky quartz, which is here, which is another lovely stone. And you know something, smoky quartz is actually a stone that I use in my car for road rage. And I know you think, oh no, Hazel would never be in a car being shouting at my lovely friends in their cars going by, but I do. I'm a total horn beeper. So smoky quartz is really good for anyone with road rage. I have a piece in my car because sometimes I hate people cutting in front of me, even though I know that when somebody cuts in front of me, they may be stopping me from an accident up above. I always say that, but yeah, when the moment that I'm in a situation where road rage should occur, I'm always the one that goes beep, 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 beep. And I wouldn't mind, I'm the worst driver ever. I'm sure they're doing the same to me, but anyway, smoky quartz, great for road rage and also a grounding stone. Hematite, do I have it here? I have it here somewhere. Hematite is very similar. Sorry, I do have it here, but it's actually in the bag on the floor. It's very similar to this, but it's like a silver color, shiny silver color, right? Hematite is a really good stone. I remember a long time ago, I give blood all the time. I give blood every couple of months, as in donate my blood. And sometimes when I go to donate my blood, my iron levels are low. And one morning I came out of my front door and there was a hematite horn. It was like in the shape of a horn. You can actually get them in necklaces, and I must have gave it to one of my sons, and the horn part of it fell off. It was just outside my front door. I was like, oh my god, what's going on there? I said, I took it up, put it in my pocket, and about 2 days later I went to give my blood, and the girl who was taking my blood said, oh, we can't take you, you're a bit low in iron. She said, you need to boost your iron levels, you're not absorbing your nutrients. And that hematite is a stone for that. So there again, the guides brought it right to my front door because that's what I needed it for. So what I do is now I place the 4 pieces of hematite, not this one, but 4 pieces of hematite, looks like this, but a silver color, in the corners of my kitchen. And then I place inside, so I basically just stick them to the walls if I can. So I put them in against the walls and I stick them with a piece of sticky tape. 4 pieces, so I make a grid in my kitchen, and then inside that grid I place a triangular grid of amethyst, because amethyst is very good for creativity. It's very good for when you're making food, you know, being creative, making food. So I place the 2 grids in my kitchen. I place them, I stick them to the walls, a square and a triangle of amethyst in the middle. So the square of hematite, the triangle of amethyst in the middle. And what that does is it helps me to be creative when I'm cooking, and it also helps with any food that I'm preparing in the kitchen it helps with us being able to absorb the nutrients out of our food when it's being cooked in that grid. So hematite is really good for absorption of nutrients, and it's also especially iron, because as I said, I had that experience myself. So in the kitchen, the square hematite grid, and then the triangle of amethyst in the middle of the grid. And if you can, when I was placing the amethyst, I placed the amethyst was, one point was on my fridge, one point was on my sink, and one point was over by my cooker. So I was totally in a triangle when I was preparing and creating food in the kitchen. So hematite, because it's a dark stone, really good for grounding energy. The dark stones, any stones, black, grey, and red are very good for the root chakra, because there's not very many red crystals, so we go for the black ones because they're grounding stones. So black tourmaline, this is obsidian, black obsidian. This is the one I was showing you a few minutes ago, which the hematite looks very similar to, only it's shiny and it's grey. This is black obsidian. Very powerful crystal. Obsidian for cleansing, balancing, protection. Black tourmaline is the same. I have a tourmaline points like this. This is obsidian point, but I have a black tourmaline point. Like black tourmaline looks like coal in a way. It sort of has coal look off. It looks like coal. And what I have is I have black tourmaline in my 4 corners of my house. So outside of my garden, I have them in my 2 corners in the front, and I have my 2 corners at the back. So it protects my house to make sure no negative energy comes into it. No energy, as in my house is fully protected. So I won't be robbed anytime soon, because my guides are always here protecting. So black tourmaline, spiritual grounding, cleansing, balancing, protection, and also, as I said, putting your house in a grid of black tourmaline is so good. Or also, I tell some of my clients who are having shy time in work, it might be an experience in work where they're getting bombarded by negative energy around them, might be bitching going on in the office, or not nice energy, put themselves in a grid in the office, so it protects energy from coming in and affecting you and seeping into your auric field. So that's the black stone. Sign of blocked root chakra is low blood pressure, anemia, depression, anxiety, digestive and bowel disorders. So because it's the root chakra, which is down here, it works all of your organs to do with excretion. If there's any digestive problems, your root chakra is blocked. Also, it is the effect of infertility too. So I work on the root chakra and the sacral chakra, both of the bottom chakras, when I am working with the moms to be, or people who have infertility problems, because they're the areas and they're the chakras that are blocked. So I use my crystals on those 2 areas especially. Shungite, I know one of my clients was asking me about that yesterday, Helen. Helen, sorry, it looks like this. I have one piece of it and it's stuck to the back of my phone. Shungite looks like this, but much duller. It's a dull stone. I'll take a photograph later and I'll post it, but it's stuck on the back of my phone at the moment. The reason it's stuck on the back of my phone, because it's called the Miracle Stone. And especially at the moment when all of the, well, not at the moment, but over the last few months while the towers were going up, we won't say the word, but those towers that were going up to do with the Wi-Fi, and also anything to do with EMFs, energy, EMFs, you know what they are. I always get it mixed up because I'm doing EFT. Yeah, so the EMF, so anything that's coming off your phones, anything that's coming off your Wi-Fi in your house, your laptops, your televisions, all the EMFs that's coming off those, you want to use Shungite or a black stone. Any of those black stones really good for grounding that deep energy. I have a piece stuck on the front of my TV. Shungite is very powerful. I have only a small little piece stuck to the back of my phone, but it takes away the EMFs that's coming off and the waves that's coming off the phones especially. Not that I ever put my phone to my head, but I use my earphones all the time. But if you do have to place your phone to your head, at least it's a lot of the energy, the negative energy, is going into the Shungite. So the Shungite is a regenerative, has a regenerative ability of the human tissue, so it's really good for regeneration of the cells. It is 2 billion years old. They said it was found 2 billion years old. It improves resistance to stress. It's a really good stone for meditation, which I do. I meditate with it, and I always seem to want to put it in my left hand. And it's also very good if you drop a piece of Shungite into a clean piece of Shungite. Give it a rinse under your tap first. Remember what I said about the water being so powerful? You can put your glass of water in your fridge and drop a piece of Shungite, clean Shungite, into it, and the Shungite will take the chlorine, the nitrates, the manganese, the bacteria and the microbes out of your water. So really good for neutralizing the free radicals. It also promotes positivity, cell rejuvenation, and boosts energy and helps with sleep patterns, raises your vibration. And it also says that if you're a doctor, a nurse, a healer, a psychiatrist, anyone who's working with very dense negative energy should wear or have a piece of Shungite in their office or on them. It's a really powerful stone for getting rid of negative energy. So that's the chakras and the crystals that I use for them. And I'm just going to go again, back to the start, because I actually started on my fertility ones because I use them all the time for fertility. The fertility stones, rose quartz, which we saw, a piece like this, rose quartz, feelings of love, peace, calm throughout pregnancy, self-confidence, self-love, and helps with the life changes of you becoming a new mum. You have a deeper connection to your unborn baby because it's an unconditional love that you're using that rose quartz for. Carnelian is actually the best stone, I would say, for, there it is there. Carnelian is the best stone, I would say, for fertility. The orange color represents the sacral chakra. I would use this as my main stone. I have a bigger piece than this, and I use this because it is over your navel, is where we're working on the uterus, we're working on the ovaries, we're working on all of that area there. So it's the orange stone is what I use. So I always use the orange carnelian, especially for fertility. Tiger's eye, which I showed you here, promotes hormone imbalances, helps with courage, especially when you're going to be a new mom, first timers going into labor. You need all the courage you can get. New changes in life, you're going to have the changes in your emotional body, your physical body, and you're also going to need physical strength. So this is really good because it's the strength of a lion or the tiger. Moonstone, there it is there. Moonstone, female deities, the feminine energy. You know what the moon does to us girls. What the moon does, we go a bit crazy when the moon comes out. So it has some very big, powerful energy behind the moon. And then it's very good for fertility and pregnancy and the power to grant wishes. So when you have moonstone, you can ask for the wishes of a new baby to come, and it brings love into your life. It's a beautiful stone. So moonstone for that. And what I would say also, I'll do another video on fertility, but one of the things I actually wrote down here to make sure I didn't forget to say is maca powder. That's one of the things, not a crystal, but it's maca powder, M-A-C-A. It's a radish grown in Peru. It was given to the 12, 13-year-old girls in Peru when they're going into being fertile, get them fertile for childbearing. 12 or 13, and it's a radish that's ground down into a powder, and they give it to those girls, and it gets them really fertile. It's also very good for men, helps with the libido for men, so obviously the yin and the yang. It's really good for the balance of both male and female hormones. And maca powder you can buy in all the good health shops. I think Lidl and Aldi and Dunn's and all the normal food shops sell it in bags. You can buy them in the places where you buy spirulina, all of the wheatgrass powders, all those. Maca, M-A-C-A, not matcha, maca, M-A-C-A, really good. All of my Reiki babies that were born, 61 babies that were born since I started doing Reiki here, all of those moms took maca. It does work. So wearing them, all of these crystals we spoke about, every single crystal we spoke about for every single chakra, wear them. You can wear them as jewelry. You can sleep with them under your pillow. You can sleep with them underneath your mattress of your bed. Rose quartz you can put underneath your bed for love. Clear quartz you can put under your bed for negative energy in general, conducting away negative energy. Amethyst under your pillow for helping you to sleep. Black obsidian under your bed if you have nightmares. Helps with getting rid of negative energies. You can place them in your bed. It's really good at this, because that's the time when you're actually coming out of your body at night time. Your physical body is on the bed, your spirit body lifts up and out, so it's really good to protect you in those situations. And you can throw them into your bath. The crystals, you can throw them into your bath. You can throw them into your water. I told you that. Any glass of water, clean water, throw it into the fridge and put some clean crystals into it, and whatever the energy of the crystals will energize the water. Really good for getting the energy into you that way. And any of these crystals, whatever way you can wear them in jewelry, earrings, necklaces, beads, mala beads, chip bracelets, rings, pendants, you can wear them as brooches, whatever. Really, really good to always have crystals on you. I mean, as I said, there's thousands of them. I have millions of them over in my press over here, but these are the ones I have readily available here that I use. I did speak a little bit about this little fella here. This is called a pendulum. And this is a clear quartz point. You can see the point on the end, and clear quartz ball on the top. And you can see the colours again, like the chakras, which is behind me here, the chakra colours. And pendulums are really good if you want to ask questions. So years ago, they would have done it, in Ireland, they would have done it if you wanted to find the sex of the baby. And you used to get your necklace, and you would have your wedding ring, and you'd place the wedding ring in your necklace, and you'd say, is this baby a boy or a girl? And you would get the information, because it works on your energy. Same for a pendulum. So pendulums are really, really good. Crystal pendulums especially, really good. When you want to do a pendulum reading, you place your pendulum down on your hand and you ask the pendulum a question like, my name is Hazel, and it should give me my yes reading. So my yes reading is my name Hazel? So you can see now it's spinning. It's not spinning, sorry, it's going straight like this. I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to say, is my name Gail? And it's giving me a circle, if you can see that. So my circle is no, and my straight is yes. And that's how you get your yes, no answers. Should I go for this job? Get your yes, no first, so you know which direction it goes. And then you start asking your guides questions. Ask your guides to step in. You're going to use your crystal pendulum. Ask your guides to step in and say, I'm asking my guides and my spiritual teachers to step forward and help me with the knowledge that's going to come from this pendulum. Can I ask it questions? And it will say, yes. Is this job right for me? It could say, no. Am I going to have a baby? Yes. How many children? 1, no. 2, yes. Do you get me? So these are really good, these little pendulums, and they're only cheap as chips. I think it's like 15 euros or something for this one. Cheap as chips, and it's really good for, especially if you don't believe in your gut instincts yourself and you want to actually ask it. It's really, really good. And I swear to you, you can do it over and over and over again, and it'll always give you the same answers. So I hope that information was beneficial for you. I'm going to put it, because it's 58 minutes, I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'll put a small bit of it on my Instagram tonight, and you can go to my YouTube channel, Hazel Grogan, and you can look at the information there. If you have any questions on other crystals that you want to know about, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can ask me in the comments on my Instagram or my Facebook page. Oh, by the way, this is another beautiful one. Sorry, look at that. pyrite. This is the pyrite that was causing all of the grief around the houses in Dublin because there was pyrite in the floors. And this is what it actually looks like. It's such a powerful crystal, and it's really good for grounding as well. And just love it. So powerful. The golden energy, I actually always place it on my third eye. I don't know why, for some reason I just want to place it on my third eye, especially if I'm doing energy work or meditations and it's quite dense energy. I will always use this on my third eye. So again, I hope that was good information for you. And again, comment, leave me any messages. You can always direct message me if you want some more information. Namaste.